you're constantly using your brain and your five senses to record your experience. And the recorded experience isn't real because what happens every moment that goes by, the memory doesn't exist anymore. But in you, it exists.
Yeah.
So you make it real. And that story that you created, the Charles story or the Justin story, it's not really real.
Right.
The moment's only real, which is now.
Right.
But everything that's happened prior,
it's gone.
It's gone.
It's done.
And the universe doesn't see it.
Yeah.
The universe only knows this moment.
This moment as it's happening.
And we're like clouds. So like we're forming and then we're deforming. So we're only here for a certain amount of time. It feels so real to us because we can see and everything's moving so slowly. You know, there's shit to touch and talking and feeling and eating and all that stuff. It pulls you into the reality that we're in. But there's something outside that we can't see. The true reality. And in this meditation, apparently, if you let go of everything, which you start off with your life lived, which is level 1, and then level 2 is, I think, is body. It might be inherited thoughts. There's two more. The 2 levels after that, it's 2 and 3, is inherited thoughts, which is your genetic, your family's energy that got downloaded into you.
Okay.
So it's basically all the karma from your family. Your karma is your life lived.
Okay.
And you need to it's best to let go of good and bad. Because holding on to really good memories creates bad emotional states too.
Right.
Because you're thinking something you don't have anymore. And then trauma, obviously you want to let go of that. And then once you've gotten to that level, the second level and third level, you're starting to let go of things. I don't know how it works, honestly, because I'm not there yet. But you're letting go of, like, for me, I can imagine because of like Nazis and Jews getting out of Germany and Poland and my grandparents coming over here and trying to get the fuck away and starting up with nothing in the Bronx. And like, so like I have some historical understanding. Like it was always like trying not to get killed, trying to survive. As like Jewish people, and then like you might have stories from your family and you can assimilate that, but you have to let all that shit go because it's actually in you and you don't know it. And then there's body, identifying with your physical body as yourself, where it's really just a machine, right, and your consciousness is inside of it, and you drive it around, and it's not you because in the end it's gonna go away. It'll be gone. So like we put so much effort into our bodies, and yes, you want a healthy body, obviously, because you don't want to suffer, and you also want to be able to do things. But I think what happens is we get so caught up in our ego, and our ego is directly connected to our bodies, especially with sexuality and all that shit. Yeah, you want to look good, you want to attract people. Yeah, we're coded to make more of ourselves. That's what attraction is. So it's always
to fuck something.
Yeah, you want to fuck another person that you find attractive. Generally, if it's heterosexual, you're going to make another version of yourself. Right. And then on top of that, if you're attracted to somebody and you make another version of yourself, that's a lot of people are like, oh, I have unconditional love, which is pretty much true for most parents. But that unconditional love is really self-love. Because it's your child. You don't give a shit about other people's children.
You don't.
Not to the level. I mean, you might care about a kid if you see them in the street and you don't want them to get hit by a car.
Of course.
But the level of reaction that you would have to a stranger's kid to your kid
is totally different. Right.
Yeah. And so it's really self-preservation. You made a copy of yourself, and then you're going to download all your views and ideas into this person. Yeah. What's ideal. I mean, if you're a Nazi, you're going to turn them into a little Nazi kid. And a little Nazi kid is going to think it's okay to be a Nazi.
Right.
Because my parents, I look up to them.
Yeah, that's all that I know.
And so it's a way to facilitate this false self, this imaginary thing, this story we put together about ourselves.
Yeah, selfless, but it's not.
But if you're looking to like grow and have that spiritual thing, I'm telling you, this meditation is really, really good.
Yeah, I want to start meditating.
Because I've been slightly mentioning it to different people I know, like my family and my friend Jingle and stuff like that. And they're apprehensive, and it is a good amount to take on. But once you get into it, you realize how much it helps.
Yes, I heard meditation.
Like things, specifically this meditation. This is called discarding meditation. Some meditation, you just meditate on void, and basically you do like you focus on your breathing, like breathing in and breathing out. But you're not thinking about anything, and it's okay to be there. But this is literally discarding self. And the self is what causes all the suffering.
Right.
So when you're caught up in like what Charles wants or what Charles didn't get, what Charles is gonna do, like all these things, these questions of the future and the past and stuff. If you could just learn to let go of yourself, you're so much happier person.
Now, when you say let go of yourself, that means just don't have any.
No, it's not to have. I know what you're talking about. Like it is a weird dichotomy.
Yeah.
Like you want to feel like you're. When you start, what I gather is as you get closer to your truer self, you do things that are important, but it might not be the way you thought it would be. It's not self-centered. It's not like, oh, I'm doing this for me. Yeah, you start doing things for the world and and the people around you. You become more compassionate.
Yeah,
you're less focused on self.
Right, and that's what I want to do. I want to be more compassionate and be more giving.
And to do that, you have to let go of who you are, because we're so wrapped up in what we want.
Right. Yeah.
Like I'm always thinking about like my physicality and my physical health. So like we're taking this challenge at the meditation center. And I'm doing it for the 30 days, and I'm doing excellent. But I realize a large part of me doing well is my ego. My ego drives, like everybody's having some difficulties and they're learning how to be more persistent and not allow their self-defeating self to stop them from doing things like eating healthy or doing exercise. Like I've already been doing those things, and I'm almost kind of like geared to like, not guilty, but feel a little like off if I don't do them. And so I have to do it. I want to do it.
Yeah.
The harder part is like we're supposed to be journaling and doing our meditation daily. And I do the meditation, but the journaling is...
That's where you're writing down your thoughts.
Thought process, but all in a way that is conducive to the meditation. Like you're thinking about where your state of mind is.
Right.
And how the meditation's working. So like yesterday when I told you I got off at a meditation, I was dealing with some shit because I spoke to my meditation manager and I was triggered by a couple of things we were talking about. And it really had to make me sit back and think, because I wanted to point the finger at her.
Right.
And then I realized, I was like, nah, this is some shit for me.
It's always a woman.
But the anxiety, what were you going to say?
It's always a woman, isn't it? It's a woman that's driving us crazy, Justin. That's what the problem is. The modern woman is driving us crazy. It's funny you mentioned.
See, that's the thing. She's not a modern woman.
Oh.
All the helpers they're different kinds of people.
Okay.
Apparently, like all the helpers are truth. Like they have little or no ego. All they want is to help everybody.
Right.
Like they all came from different walks of life. And as they got closer and closer to truth, that's why I was kidding about it being a cult. Is that they all became helpers, professionally started working for the centers. And like they meditate a lot, and they're very selfless. They just want to help you.
Right.
And you feel it. Like, it's not bullshit.
Yeah.
And if you bring anything to them negative, they deal with it in such a eloquent way. Like it's never like... So
they're really good at what they do.
When I told her I was having an issue with her,
right?
She's like, oh, this is good.
Really?
Yeah, that was her immediate reaction. She goes, oh, this means this is... You're dealing with something right now. And this is like, we have to... And if if she thought like she did apologize that I took it but she realized that I took it in the wrong way. And then I still had to deal with it, and all my anxiety came up, and I was just dealing with it. And I'm glad I saw something that made me laugh. But journaling and writing about it helped me like digest it and then like play with it.
Right.
Sometimes you can't do that if you just sit there and think about it
all the time.
But if you write it down on paper, you got to kind of clarify a little bit.
It's right there out in front of you.
Yeah.
Instead it's in your head.
You're trying to make it make sense.
Right.
Yeah. In your head, you're kind of having a conversation
with yourself. Yeah.
But then in writing on paper, you're kind of like solidifying what something is.
Yeah.
So like it definitely helps me. So I'm glad that I'm journaling daily because I don't like it. Yeah. But I'm starting to warm up to it more.
Now you were saying something to Justin earlier, and I wanted to go back to this.
Tell me.
You said it's really interesting.
Oh yeah.
No, you said that a person having a kid, that's selfless love. And you said it's not selfless love because it's your kid.
Yeah.
So it's part of you.
It's selfish.
Yeah.
And it's what's the word? There's a couple of words for it. It's basically, it's ingrained in DNA to duplicate yourself. And the reason to duplicate yourself is because we are not timeless.
Right. So you want
material, we're not timeless.
Right.
And mind, we're not timeless. Our minds go away the minute we die. The brain has to exist for the mind to keep thinking.
Right.
And that's why there's like I said, they download all their stuff onto you, your parents, whether it's good or bad. And so they facilitate, and there's pride with parents. Most parents, not everybody, but oh, look what he did.
Right.
My Billy's so smart. He started walking at this age.
Right.
Like it's immediate, like with every, and then kids can be a pain in the ass.
But that's what I'm saying though. Like why would you? It's been this whole thing on the internet, right? About for instance, I'm gonna bring a celebrity into this. Russell Wilson, he's married to Sierra, right? And I don't know if you know that. Sierra has a baby. Her first child is with this rapper named Future.
Okay.
So now she broke up with Future, and then she got with Russell Wilson. At the time, we didn't have no kids, right? And they became a couple,
right?
And then they had 2 kids together. So then, I guess he did an interview and he talked about his
relationship with the child that
isn't his. He's like, this. What did he say? He said something about what did he say?
I'm curious.
He said, that's a selfless act. He's like, it was my job to step up. If a kid doesn't have a father, it's my job to kind of.
So the other father, Future, wasn't taking care of the child.
He wasn't. Yeah.
He had no presence.
No, he has no presence. So he's taking the step of taking the position of a father.
And he could very well warm up to the child almost to the level of, this is my child.
Right. But that's what he accepts the child. I think he said the child. The boy calls him dad. Like he doesn't call.
No. And some people could be selfless like that and like change their mind when it comes to like their relationship. But still, there is going back to like the downloading of. He is imprinting on that boy.
That boy, yeah.
So the boy is going to take all his information and become like him. Or have traits like him. Not all of it, because the boy does have inherited traits from his father.
From his real biological dad.
Whether he knows it or not, he's going to have this energy that his father gave him. But so like breeders, that's what you to people who are kind of like anti like having too many kids, like in like Christian faith, they just want to fuck like rabbits.
Right.
They were like, have 12, don't use any contraception, have 12 children. The reason for that is they want to create a larger community of Catholicism or Christianity. The more kids you have, the more powerful our word is.
Right.
Because we have more of us. The same shit in Israel.
Right.
They have what's the word? Birthright. Have you heard of it?
No, what's that?
Birthright is a free trip to Israel from other countries for Jews, real Jewish blood kids. I forget how old it is. Something like 16 to 22.
Yeah.
They give you a free trip for a week and they want you to come to Israel and see how great it is.
Mm-hmm.
And they want you to have, I mean, not there and then, well, probably they do. They want you to have sex and have babies and have more Jewish people.
While you're there, or just
that's why they wouldn't say while you're there, but they're definitely wanting you to fuck and have more Jewish people because they want Israel to be an ethno state of Jews. You know, and so so it's all this, and it's all religious based. Like it's all like for Armageddon and Zionists and crazy stuff like that.
Now, the reason why I brought that up is because people were giving Russell Wilson flack.
For caring or not caring?
For caring about another man's child.
I don't understand. That can be on many levels, though.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, "Oh, it's not your kid. Why are you trying to like?"
Yeah, but why do you give a fuck?
Oh, why do you give a fuck?
but I mean, I guess at the beginning,
he sounds like a great person.
Yeah, he sounds good. but I'm just saying. But the thing about it is that it's been this whole thing about simp dads. You heard that? That's been on the internet lately.
Simp dad.
Yeah, simp dad.
Well, I know what simp is.
Yeah,
simp is like you sympathize for someone.
Yeah, you sympathize for, like, I guess a simp would be, I guess, the word the
you're kind of like you're kind of like about a person for them, for whatever their situation.
Yeah, it's like you're it's almost like you go out your way for women. That's what a simp is.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
I thought that's like more like a cuck or
something like sort of like that. Yeah,
no, something like
yes,
that.
It's like a more milder version of a cuck.
Yeah.
But
so basically you're somebody that can be easily manipulated.
Yeah. So to speak, by women, I guess you would say. So I guess they're saying that him being a simp dad, he's a stepdad.
So there's like he's a bitch for taking care of somebody
else's kid. So it's that whole thing. It's been this whole movement about taking care of another man's kid.
I think that's more like a societal thing. That might even come from the black community too.
But it's been a lot of, it's not just black. It's been a lot of people online. You're talking about it online about, oh, fuck that, I'm not going to take care of another man's kid. You know, it's one dude, it's a white dude.
Yeah, but they're married and have like a family.
Andrew Tate.
And he doesn't even. Andrew Tate, what about him?
You know about Andrew Tate, right?
He's crazy.
What do you think about Andrew Tate? His whole philosophy is that you should never be a stepdad. You should go out and have your own kids. That's her problem, not yours. It's good to have sex with a like with a
but
mom.
if the child is living with her and the stepdad's not really in the picture, you're gonna be there and interact with the kid, like especially if you get married.
Yeah, we're talking about Russell Wilson, but I was saying that they've always kind of the whole relationship with Russell Wilson. But you're
saying like Andrew Tate is like, well, no, Andrew Tate in himself is like he's on some like weird. He wants to be like a Maharaja and have like women who are his wives, but really just prostitutes. He's like, I'm going to fuck you at 5 o'clock, and I'm going to fuck you at 5:15. You know, like it's not
the real reason you don't have any women because you're not one to expect anybody to respect you. You're not a man. That's how you talk. You ever see him talk?
Yeah. I can get on board with.
You understand?
He's talking about having confidence.
Right, yeah.
But that's different from the way he treats women because he thinks he's superior to women. And so I think that's the big difference. It's like you can have confidence in yourself, but to belittle somebody just because of their sex.
But is that belittling?
He thinks he's better than any woman.
But do you think,
including the women he's with?
Do you think
that's just because he's a strong male and he's powerful and he has money or whatever? But he's up Schitt's Creek anyway because he was like doing the whole prostitution thing. And
do you think that
some sexual abuse? I don't know.
Do you think that he should feel that way? Do you think all men should feel that way or no?
Feel like what?
Like
dominant?
Not. I don't know. I guess you should feel as though you're better than the woman if you're dating her.
No.
You think you should feel that way? No. We're not better than her as far as like
I
control you.
I just got some deja vu.
What?
When you said that and we were sitting here with the camera recording and everything. I relived this moment again.
You think this happened before?
I think everything's happened already. Yeah.
Everything's
Time is illusion. We've already died. This moment is a recording of we're on a path that's leading to a point that's already happened.
That's deep.
Yeah, that's how I feel about life. So when you have deja vu, your mind is registering a moment that's already happened, and you're like, oh, this has already happened. And you realize it. You're like, oh yeah, time's an illusion.
That's deep. How you put it, because it's like this. Okay, okay. That's what you're saying.
That's how I see reality.
It's almost like a CD with all the music is on it.
Everything's there.
But then you play. But the CD,
as it's playing,
the CD's never been played before.
No.
But everything is already made on the album. Then you play it. It's just playing what's already been made.
Right. And it's working towards a point that's the end.
It's going to end at the end of it.
Yeah.
But it's already been.
But that's mind. Mind lives in time. I mean, apparently to the, like I said, everything's theory for me.
Right.
Truth, if you could get to your true self, you can live beyond mind, which I don't get. But.
So the future has already happened.
Well, the future's already happened because time doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist.
We live in time because we're matter. And matter has space. But if you're energy, there is no space.
You just are.
You're just energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we feel like we live in a space. Like I'm here and you're there.
Right.
And there's a distance. That's time. Time is the distance between objects.
Yeah.
How long does it take for me to get to you? And then vice versa. How fast can you do it?
Yeah.
But if there was no time, there would be you don't have to get to a certain point.
At a certain time.
You could just be there.
Be there, yeah.
Yeah. And so our minds are trapped in time. Yeah.
That's deep.
Yeah, it's crazy. And that's why I want to break out of this. That's why I'm doing the meditation, bro.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about doing, have you ever did ayahuasca?
No.
You ever thought about doing it?
I've done mushrooms.
The mushroom?
I would like to try some ayahuasca.
I
like ayahuasca. I like it in a more concentrated form because I've seen it like you have to take it in batches or something. Maybe I'm wrong about, or maybe
they have different ones. I heard.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind if it came in like a strong tea.
Right. But I heard you have to be like with like a shaman.
Yeah, you have a shaman and you go on a trip.
Yeah,
and they monitor you.
That's crazy. I've been curious about trying it
because it's about letting go of mind and also seeing beyond time. And another thing I heard, and they use it as they've been trialing the what's it called? It was rampant on the island in Thailand.
DMT?
No, not DMT. Ketamine.
Ketamine.
And ketamine, what it does is it disassociates yourself from yourself.
Okay.
So you're experiencing life when you take it. And this is all theoretical. I haven't taken it, but my brother has, and other people I know have taken it, and they were telling me about it. You're experiencing life without you there.
Okay.
So when you take ketamine, you kind of disappear.
Really?
And you're just kind of like this body, like experiencing shit. But you're not there. It's weird. So that's why it's disassociating. And they do it. They started using it for like depression and giving microdosing in a controlled area for people. I've never tried it. I was very interested in it though.
Yeah, I'm
gonna work hard and meditate and use that.
Do it the natural way.
Become to let go of all the shit without having drugs.
Right. Yeah. Lots of I want to let go and be more physically aware and stuff, physically fit and stuff like that.
Yeah, and the thing is, you'll become more driven when you start letting go of things that get in your way. Like our week's meditation. Every week we have like a topic, and this week is the things I tell myself, like to justify not doing things. The excuses and why it's okay. And that's just the weak side of They call it false mind.
Mm-hmm.
There's false mind and there's truth.
Mm-hmm.
And all your false mind is blocking the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And it keeps you from doing everything that you could be doing,
Mhm.
because false mind doesn't want to do things that it thinks it doesn't like.
Doesn't like, yeah.
Yeah. So like when I'm running, that's one of the times that I really have to deal with false mind. And I
Mhm.
use it as an experience to like see that the struggle
Mhm.
of the body is directly connected to the mind.
Mhm.
And so I could feel my muscles. I could feel any aches and pains.
Right.
I could feel the heavy breathing
Mhm.
and the struggle for air.
Mhm.
And like sometimes it's easier, sometimes it's harder. Depends on the day, depends on where I am,
Mhm.
how much sleep I had, food, but the mental, where I
Right.
am mentally. Like
Mhm.
sometimes I don't want to do it.
Mhm.
And
You're like, I don't like doing this shit.
and so I have to fight to get to a point where I'm like, I tell my mind, this is just the body